In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, preferably a down elbow on that smash like button. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification as we drop videos here.
12 to 6?
12 to 6, the illegal John Jones elbow.
That is an illegal elbow, but we will accept it if it is on the
on the smash
button,
button.
on the subscribe button, or on the like button. Of course, that is. We'll allow it, but you drop one of those on your friend's head, I gotta call it.
Well, you drop one on their head, and you might be seeing some blood.
Absolutely, for sure. Might be seeing some blood red sky.
Well, if you're looking up, you definitely could if the blood gets in your eyes.
Right. And you can't tell.
Is that a blood red sky? Fuck.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, we're doing Blood Red Sky.
Yes.
Yeah, a new Netflix horror film, German-English production, I believe.
Yep.
Mostly German. There's some English thrown in there, and a lot of English actors. I mean, they kind of scraped the bottom of the barrel for English actors in this one.
Got the guy from Prison Break.
So weird that wasn't Prison Break a big show?
It was a huge show.
Those guys have done nothing after Prison Break.
No, the only thing they did was that Flash WB series. They were the villains.
Where they're basically playing the
yeah. And they're brothers, too, in that.
And I'm almost positive they break out of a prison in that.
Yes.
One's a heat gun guy, and one's a ice ray guy.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, but they've been in nothing else. I mean, fucking nothing. But yeah, this is, they're not even the main characters in this. And the guy from Prison Break dies. Spoiler alert, we'll get into it. He dies really early. I thought for sure he was going to come back. Like, this guy's going to come back as a vampire, right? No, he's done.
He's done, yeah.
He's got to go do other prison-related shows.
Right, of course.
He's got a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, Blood Red Sky, it's the newest horror film on Netflix. It's rated number 1 on Netflix right now, the top 10, if that means fucking anything. It's completely made up.
In all fairness to Netflix, though, we constantly gripe about how terrible their films are. They've been knocking it out of the park in the horror category.
Yeah, they have. Well, picking up horror films that this is not a Netflix production for sure.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, they picked it up to distribute it.
It is a Netflix film.
Yeah, they have been doing pretty good. They should just do horror, I feel like, at this point.
I feel like they should just pick up and distribute films instead of trying to make them themselves.
Your own films. Yeah, that's how you get fucking Thunder Force or whatever that one is with the big lady who falls down a lot.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah. But this was just released on July 23rd, and like I said, out of their top 10, it is rated their number 1. Mm-hmm. Which again, we don't know what that means because Netflix doesn't release any numbers.
Of course not. It's just the top 10 films that they want to
push. Well, yeah, they want to push for sure. But this one is it's got a crazy premise, and I'll tell you the premise. It's pretty wild, but pretty simple to kind of explain. Woman, son, get on a plane. Terrorists on the plane, of course.
Right.
Every plane you go on, terrorists on the plane. The woman. If Hollywood would let you to bleed, there's terrorists on
every single plane.
But so terrorists on a plane, but this woman who took her kid just happens to be a vampire who's going from the UK to the US because there's a doctor there.
Yeah, New York. That can help her, I guess.
I got a feeling that's old Dr. Van Helsing, and he's got one cure, and that's a wooden stake to the heart.
That is true.
Yeah. And he's just getting the vampires to come to him at this point. Right. He's very old.
Yeah, he's retired.
He's about 300 years old, so yeah. But I mean, I can't imagine there's a doctor been working on a cure. They never go into that.
No.
They never go into that. But that is the premise. It's a complicated premise, but they somehow, in my opinion, pull it off.
Oh, unquestionably.
It's a really convoluted premise for sure. Mm-hmm. You would think there's a lot too much going on, but I thought they did a pretty good job. It wasn't the greatest film of all time, but it was almost better than I thought.
Yeah, see, I was thoroughly entertained through this whole film. I really enjoyed it. I was very impressed. And too, as you said, there were so many elements to this movie where it could have been awful. To be able to pull off a storyline like this was very impressive.
And it's pretty long. It's 2 hours long.
Mm-hmm. It's 2 hours, 3 minutes.
It's a full 2 hours, which usually, for films like this even, I think that might be too long. But they had to do flashbacks, and I love those flashback scenes. Yeah. They were some of my favorite scenes of her explaining how she got bit, which was just another random event, really. Yeah. Her car broke down, and she has the worst luck. This woman is horrible luck. Gets on a plane full of terrorists, gets broken down outside of a vampire's house. Uh-huh. I mean,
maybe it's her.
House.
Maybe it's just her.
It might be her. Yeah. And this kid, I got to give it to him. Probably smart cutting his losses with this chick.
Yeah, I would say at the end, with the old kaboom.
Yeah, he's like, this bitch is taking me everywhere I go.
She was on the verge of eating her own kid, too, because she had sucked so much blood that at that point she was going to kill him.
Sucking, yeah. She was all gangly looking. But yeah, I mean, she can't drive a car, can't fly in a plane. I guess next thing you can try boat, but I guess boating that just seems like it's a disaster waiting to happen. You don't want to be stuck out in the fucking middle of the ocean with a vampire. But yeah, so they get on the plane, and of course, honestly, it's worse luck for the terrorist, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the worst case scenario for terrorists.
You could have picked any plane.
Yeah.
Any other plane
without a vampire, and this would have went out without a hitch. But I got to talk about Alexander Scheer, who plays 8-Ball in this film.
Yeah, he stole the show.
He was phenomenal.
At first, I'm like, this guy's doing a little too much over the top. I feel like he's overacting before he became a vampire, and then I was like, oh, I get it. That guy must be that kind of actor to where like this guy can be really expressive because he had to be really expressive when he became a vampire,
right?
Because he's not talking anymore. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he killed it, especially when he became a vampire.
I love it because like he was a what are they called? Flight attendant,
right? Yeah,
but there's a word for it. But whatever, he was a flight attendant,
air hostess,
something like that.
That is what it's called.
He's very very flamboyant, very gay, and the girls know that. And then as soon as he grabs that guy and stabs him 30 times, you just see, oh no, this guy's a full-blown psychopath.
I thought for sure this guy was going to be like the cool flight attendant.
Yes.
Remember but really he was just like, I just want to fucking kill that guy. Like, I'll take this guy from you, but I'm going to murder him later.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought he was going to be cool too. But then he goes... even for a terrorist, this guy's a loose cannon,
yeah,
right?
For sure. And even his other guys working with him.
And they all knew that about him, too.
Oh, they did, yeah.
This is a big job. I can't be risking the job with this guy.
I know. And he would always do the most fucked up shit. So
shooting a gun in an airplane. I can't imagine, unless it's needed, you don't want to be firing off a pistol in an airplane.
Think about his victims, too. The first person they shoot, and then he shoots the mom 3 times because she's going and getting her kid. And then, out of all the people to pick on an airplane, he goes and picks the 10, 11-year-old girl, and her parents are freaking out.
Yeah.
And he gets off on it. Like, he loves being the most evil he can possibly be.
He's a terrorist, man. Guy. He out of all of them, he is like the cartoon version of a terrorist, where he's like the Joker. Yeah. Just causing, to the point to where, like, at first I'm like, why are they even there? Like, what is their goal? This guy was there for one reason, obviously, just to kill a shit ton of people on a plane. It's ridiculous.
When I liked the way they went about it too. I don't know what their specific job was as far as
they were going to crash the plane.
Yes, to get the stocks and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're going to make it look like, it just so happened to be, lucky for them, there was a Middle Eastern guy on the plane.
Well, no, they planned that whole thing.
Yeah, I guess they knew it.
Because that convention didn't even happen. When they landed the plane, and he's talking to the cops or whatever, the special forces on the ground, he goes, no, you're the villain because there's no convention. He goes, no, they set this whole thing up on the plane because they had a few Muslim individuals on that plane. And they were all going to that convention.
Yeah.
So it was actually a pretty elaborate and smart plan, too.
It was very elaborate just for one guy to get on there and start fucking shooting everyone and almost ruining the plan.
Ruining the whole thing.
Obviously, it was planned for probably years in advance. Why have this wild card on your... There's got to be another terrorist.
Yeah,
there's got to be
someone else.
Yeah, there's got to be someone else you can draft to get on this fucking plane. But yeah, he goes 8 Ball, which is an awesome name, too.
Yeah, of course.
8 Ball. He seems like he's on a fucking 8 Ball. This
All
guy
the
is
time.
loaded. Yeah. He immediately kills our main antagonist, who she does a great job as well. Let me tell you, I first started watching this because it is German. Most of it's in German. There's a lot of English as well. But for some reason, it automatically put the dubbed version on. So
Really?
all the German was dubbed over, and the dubbing for this movie
awful.
is not done
no.
well. Some films do well. This dubbing is fucking horrible. At first, I'm like, what is going on? Because someone would talk that speaks English and would speak perfectly fine, and then a German character would talk and have the worst fucking dubbing of all time. I'm like, this movie, they did bad in the editing room for dubbing these voices. But I switched it over to German. The German version, the original, is so much fucking better.
For sure. Mine didn't have that setting. It didn't flip to the English dub, so we got it German right away.
Yeah, for mine, it automatically did that. I have no idea why, but I shut off after 20 minutes. I mean, I knew what was going on, but it was fucking... The dubbing is horrible. Yeah. It's like the ADR was like a robot or something. They did like an AI or something.
I don't understand why dubbing is so bad in so many films. It's just like, it's easy. Just hire a halfway decent voice actor, have them watch the film along with the dialogue.
You got to hire 20 different voice actors for each different person.
For each character.
It does cost a ton of money. And most of the times they're thinking, hey, just watch it how I fucking made the film. You know, don't watch it. Any dubbing, even the greatest dubbing in the world, I would rather watch the original.
Oh, the original, for sure, yeah.
Because no matter what, I mean, you're not going to get the words, because they're saying different words with different syllables for different meanings. So
unless they don't give you the option. Like The Family Man, we can't just find that in Hindi.
Which is horrible.
It was only
that dubbing
dubbed.
is better, though.
It is better.
It was a lot better than this one.
Yeah.
This dub,
But
you'll
it's still
know
frustrating.
as soon as you...
Give me the option to watch the original version, not just a dubbed set.
I know there's an original version out there.
Yeah.
Give me the goddamn option. But yeah, so the lady gets shot or whatever, and then she turns into a vampire. And that's I liked the design of the vampires a lot. It looks kind of old,
especially
school,
the ears.
kind of look like Nosferatu. You know, they go bald.
Yep.
They get the pointy ears, and they start looking, I guess, bat-like. Is that's kind of what they're going for? I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yep.
But the more, like, the longer you allow. That's what I liked about the continuity, is like the longer she was like in her vampire mode, she looked more and more like a and same with 8 Ball.
Well, and the more blood that they sucked, the stronger they became, and the more they morphed.
Yeah, into fucking
a vampire.
The creatures of the night, for sure. Yeah, because 8 Ball looks bad at the end.
Yeah, he does. Doesn't look good.
I was shocked that he survived the burning. I thought for sure, getting trapped in a car and burning alive. I thought this guy would be Ash. Now he comes out, he just has kind of...
It's because the fire extinguishers went off. Wasn't enough time.
He was burning in there for minutes.
He was. It felt like a long time.
I mean, so long that they... Like, he was burning for so long that it took, like, minutes for them to see, like, the smoke coming out of the cargo hold or whatever to figure it out. Like, he was burning a long time, but he kind of just, like... He kind of just two-faced it. He didn't look that bad.
Well, and they had brought up something that he did in like Morocco or something like that, where this guy's like really sadistic and fucked up. And then he knocks Naja off, injects a needle into her. And I thought he was like trying to kill her with a dose. He draws out blood.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that twist too.
And there's something else I liked about this movie. Yeah, because at first I'm like, what's he going to give her? Why is he... But... there's something else that I like about this movie is there's not like a period of like vampire. We can't, like, there's no way those don't exist. It's almost like fucking 8 Ball was waiting for the moment.
Yes.
Because he was like prepared. But I like that because this movie is already 2 hours long. You didn't have enough time to go back and try to convince these other terrorists that there is... Right. 8 Ball knows immediately. He goes, vampire.
Yep.
Yeah. And the other guys are like, what the fuck? But then it's like, she comes down there and like, okay, it's a vampire. You don't have to have that period of vampires don't exist.
Right.
It's like, it's happening. He sees her 20 seconds later. He's making a steak. Smart man.
Yeah.
He's crazy as they come, but he knows his vampires. But yeah, I like that. There was no question about it. It's like he immediately knew, and it was smart. He immediately took the blood. Which is just a huge decision to make.
It is. It
He
is
did it
a
like it
huge
was
decision
nothing.
to
This
just.
guy is
And he was
wild.
like, "Well, I'm going for it."
Yeah, he's like, he knew that there might be a time. Just in case, he had that ace up his sleeve. I'll keep this little vial.
And not only that, too, but you look at the character and how evil he was and how easy it was for him to kill, that being a vampire would have almost been his perfect life.
Oh, my God.
He would have never cared and he would have been more powerful.
That's the thing. He's like, I don't know if they exist, but I'm always going to be fucking prepared because when one comes along, I'm turning myself
So
into
no
one.
more making fun of those zombie preppers. Because you never know.
Well, they're not prepping to be bit, though. He's
That
prepping.
is true.
He's ready.
Yeah, good point. Good point. He's prepping to become a
Yeah, he
vampire.
like immediately knew. He's like, oh, I know what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to get a vial stat. But yeah, I did like that. I almost forgot. He injects himself with the blood. He does not get bit.
No.
Which I think if he just waited a little bit, he probably would have been bit.
You could have been bit.
Because she was biting everyone at one
Yeah.
point. Became a real fucking problem.
Oh, for sure. Well, it
'Cause you got
became a
one
problem for
vampire-
everyone on the plane, too.
Yeah, you got one vampire, then you got two, then they double, they got four, then you got eight. It's crazy. It's like the Hydra. You can't kill them. 4 more pop up. Yep. But she's biting them left and right. She can't really control herself either.
Right.
Because the scent of blood. Mm-hmm.
It'll do that.
They start smelling it. And she loves it. But yeah, she.
God, I got to get some WD-40 for that fucking arm.
I know, it's so fucking loud.
So bad.
Every time, yeah.
I would give you the noisiest one, too.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked the flashbacks of her going in the farmhouse and getting bit, and then her going back to the guy. And the guy, of course,
It's pure evil. He's trying to kill her.
He's a vampire also. But he also has a son that's a vampire.
Was a vampire. She killed him.
Yeah.
Didn't let him in the house. Poor bastard.
Yeah. He should never have gone outside.
I don't know why. Why would
The
you
guy
do that?
lives there.
Yeah, moments before the sun comes
He
out.
knows what time the sun rises. Yeah. He's a vampire. I'm sure they have it marked on every calendar. Like they have a star chart and shit.
Well, those were the small little details that I actually appreciated. So they're on the plane, and Naja, which is the woman, they find her journal. And that's kind of how he determines that she's a vampire, because she goes sunrise, sunset, and then the blood, how she's going to inject the medicine. So I was like,
it's Vampire 101.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
she's leaving a paper trail.
But at least
She
there was
should not-
something there for us to let us know
Yeah,
why he thinks she's a vampire right away.
Yeah. I don't know if that would be the first thought that goes in my head.
No, not mine
I'm thinking
either.
maybe she loves sunsets, loves sunrises.
Right.
Maybe she's, I don't know. I don't know about the
when you
blood
look at-
situation.
When
but
you look at those dogs, which were eaten alive, well, the dog, and then she framed
poor
the dog,
yeah.
which was sad. That was a bad framing. I wasn't fun with. I don't mind humans
wasn't-
dying, but
I
don't
know.
kill the poor dogs.
Yeah, and
It's
then
not
they're
my
all
cup of
looking
tea.
at the pit bull like, that fucking dog,
That dog
did
did
it.
it.
These goddamn pit bulls. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you can drink the blood of anything when you're a vampire.
Yes, you can.
Dog blood, it's all good.
Deer blood, bear blood.
It all gets you fucking jacked up.
does.
You know who they needed on this plane?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Course. I'm sick of these motherfucking vampires on these motherfucking planes. You get him and the vampire problem is done in 20 minutes.
It is. He will solve it.
Fucking done. He's not doing any stupid shit. He's just running around. But yeah, they needed Sam L. Jackson.
They did.
For sure. He was the only person. Because no one had a fucking clue. Once these vampires started popping up, it was panic mode.
Yes, it was.
No plan. Remember in the stakes on a plane, they start barricading shit.
Yep.
They don't do that.
No, they don't.
I mean, I don't know if it would have been as effective against super strength vampires.
Yeah,
But
could have
you
been
gotta
an issue.
have instead, they just crush each other rushing towards the cockpit. Like all 40 of us are gonna fit in this 2-man cockpit. It's not gonna happen.
I thought the camera work from this was really good too, because it's really hard to film good shots in a very small environment like that, and like those long takes, like going down the plane. I really like the below the cabinet or whatever that's called, compartments. I liked all those shots too, and I liked the lighting design underneath with the dogs and the car there.
Yeah,
I thought it all looked really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. I thought it looked, pretty much what you expect from shooting in a plane for sure.
Right.
If you like that, you should see Air Force One with Harrison Ford. You get a lot of underground in the plane running around a lot. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The only thing I thought the action was kind of underwhelming. I really wanted these vampires to kind of tear people apart, and they don't do that. They kind of swipe at them.
Right.
It kind of hurt them that way, but
And
they're
then
not.
just kind of bite them and suck.
Yeah, I really wanted. I thought she was going to be really fucking strong. Like, she is strong, but it's like.
But not like rip them in half strong.
It's a
like
strong.
Castlevania strong.
Yeah, it's a strong, like I could still probably put up a little bit of a fight with this vampire. It's not like she's going around. I wanted that. I wanted her to be ripping throats out and there'd be just fucking a mist of blood. Because even though that he turns into a vampire, she's been a vampire.
Yes.
So in my mind, I'm thinking she's got the upper hand. She knows how to use the strength. He's just a psychopath, but he's new on the vampire kick.
Yes.
So that I thought was a little underwhelming in my mind. I wanted her to really just start tearing people apart because all it was, like we said, is it's like a swipe and then a bite for everyone. That's how everyone died. No one got fucking ripped in half.
I thought Eliza might have been, or Elias might have been the most brave boy I've ever seen in any film ever. I mean, there's a plane full of vampires. This kid's like, I'll go get it, no problem. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean, I
fine,
know your
yeah.
mom's a vampire, but dude, do you understand the consequences?
Now, was she pregnant when she was bit?
No.
No, she had the kid.
kid.
Because I thought it was going to be a Blade situation.
Oh.
Where he could be a daywalker now because he was half and half, remember?
That's the route they should have went. And then
Yep.
they could have done a sequel. Yeah, and he
Just
could have
Blade.
been alive. Just Blade. Yeah, literally just Blade. But hey.
Just a
except
white German Blade.
Yeah, he's a plane marshal. He's a marshal on planes.
He's just waiting for
for terrorists.
No, he's just waiting for vampires. Yeah, right.
vampires do that.
Speaking of air marshals, can we talk about the two most useless air marshals in all?
Three.
Oh, three. But almost three.
She was the worst though, because she didn't even see it coming.
She's sleeping?
Yeah, and they just pillow stab.
I don't
dead.
think you're on the job. I don't think you're supposed to be sleeping.
No,
If I know
you're
anything
not supposed
about,
to be.
maybe I'm out of line saying that,
Right.
but I don't believe you are supposed to be sleeping on a job. That seems like a pretty important job. But it's so fucking
Out
easy.
of all the deaths, though, I think the one I would not want was getting stabbed 45 times by that guy, because he stabs him in the eye and then he stabs him like 30, 40 times.
Yeah.
They're like,
There's
enough.
enough. There's definitely some bad deaths for sure.
Yeah.
Some people just get like their arm mangled and then they're just waiting to die for most of the time. Like that one older guy who gets
Hit by the cart and he's got internal bleeding. And
Yeah.
then he's
And then he
like,
lets-
bite me.
I love that he didn't bite him. He just
I know, swiped at him. Just fucked him up.
straight up murdered him. Yeah. Yeah. There's some scenes like that for sure where people were just waiting to die. to just shoot. But they're fucking air marshals, man.
I know.
They all of them packing heat.
They are.
Every single one of them packing guns. And they get stabbed they get taken so easily. It's
Are
fucking
air
easy.
marshals actually allowed to carry guns on planes? Is that still a
I
thing?
think they are.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Actually, yeah. But it's completely random. I get that they did some research or whatever, but I don't know how they knew where all the air marshals are.
Yeah.
Like I think that's random up until the day because of
Well, no, the way they did it, I thought was super smart. So one of them caused a commotion, which caused the first air marshal to get up, and then they separate them, put them in the curtain.
But you're
and then
just
the second one
you're just
gets up.
hoping an air marshal gets up and not just some guy to
Yeah,
come
that's
out,
true.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're praying that there's an air marshal right there within shouting distance of the guy.
Right,
I mean,
of the
it's
place.
still a very risky procedure for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, but the other one they did just go and stab her in her seat.
Well, because they told
Yeah.
that guy told her Delta 1 was her seat.
So stupid. So dumb.
I don't know, why would you give
She
up
was
your
sitting
partner?
in number one seat too. I mean, of course. I mean,
Of course,
air
that's
marshal.
an air marshal.
Yeah, but these air marshals, they don't last long. I mean, they're in there for 2
So
seconds.
what is the whole job? Like, is that literally just the job of
Yeah.
air marshals? They just fly from point A to point B and then they go home? They fly back home, so it's like a couple day process.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, it's like a pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not a couple day process. They will fly one place, then another, and then fly back home or whatever, like for 8 hours.
Oh, so they can still go home.
Yeah, I think they all, or they may have probably a layover or something, but most of them, I think, just go home. It's just, you just fly all day. And, 99% of the time, there's not vampires on there. So you're not doing most of the time, they're just there in case someone starts panicking and wants to open the exit door or whatever.
Yeah.
They start beating the shit out of you for that. But
I just don't get that. I don't get why would you, you're panicking on a plane, so yeah, let me go open an exit door.
yeah, well, they're not in the right mind, man.
No, they're not.
I don't understand it. Why do people go crazy? I don't get it. Yeah, it's hard to understand. You're right.
Is.
But
It's
did you
very
just see
hard.
that lady who they had to duct tape to the chair?
What?
You didn't see it?
No.
Oh my god! So 99% of the time, there's no air. There's not like an air marshal on every plane.
Right.
There's almost never is an air marshal. I think, and I don't
Probably
think.
international travel, there probably is. But
Yeah, I mean, not even on every one of those though, but because you couldn't. There's so many international. You just
well,
don't
there's
have
tens
enough.
of thousands of flights.
You just
or
don't
hundreds
have
of
enough.
thousands.
Yeah, you don't have enough air marshals. You know. But I mean, probably for those big ones that are like the Airbuses or whatever, you probably at least gotta have a couple guys on there. But yeah, I can't even remember where I was going with that.
You're talking about the duct tape.
Oh yeah,
The lady. So they duct
the
tape
air
her to a
hostess,
plane.
not the no air marshal. It was the women. They all they duct tape her, and it's fucking everyone's getting off the plane, and like you see them exiting or normal, and then like. The guy filming pans over, and this lady's she's like, "Help me!" She's like, "Oh, she's like, yeah."
Did they show any video leading up to that point, or was it just the duct tape?
Just the decade. That was the
Okay,
funniest part.
yeah.
It was good editing too, because it looked like it was just a regular video guy. You know what I mean? He pans over, and she's really like right next to him. Jeez. Yeah, so everyone has to walk past her.
I don't understand. Out of all places, like that is the worst place to have like a meltdown or whatever, or be like erratic.
That's why people have meltdowns, is because it is the worst place, because it really stresses people out to be flying through the air 600 miles an hour at 30,000 feet in the air. So it causes some people with, already mental illness to kind of, be like, oh,
Their
fuck.
lives are ruined. Like they could go to jail. I mean, they could.
Well, their lives
label
are
them as
ruined. They can't fly
terrorists.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just on a no-fly list.
Isn't it anything that you do something like that? Like, don't they like hold you as like not as but terroristic threats on an airplane? So, isn't there like a big sentence for that?
It's not. I don't know. She won't be labeled as a terrorist now.
No. Terroristic threats and terrorists are two different things, but. Terroristic threats can come with a pretty long sentence. Like
yeah, but if you're doing
36 to
terroristic
5.
threats, I think you're a terrorist, right?
No, actually, no. Because terroristic threats could be something along the lines of, Cash, I'm going to beat the shit out of you and kill you, right? So using that as an example, that's
It's
a
not a
terroristic
terroristic threat. No, it's not terroristic. It's just a threat.
But if I do that, no,
It's
we can
terrorist.
jump into the law later. But terroristic threats are different, like in a public setting. So if I were to do something like that, that's considered a terroristic threat.
Well, no, that's not what they held her for. So if that is true, that's not what she got. No, you just hold her because she was just a danger. She was just a danger to herself and others. She probably did get a huge fucking fine, and they absolutely held her. But most likely, they probably just went and got her help.
Right.
I mean, they probably sent her to a hospital. But the fine is probably worse. You'd probably rather do
6 months or
I think I would, because the fine for that, for them to having to land a plane or whatever, and like,
Oh, yeah, it's
emergency,
big.
oh my god, dude, it's gargantuan. Yeah. To have to refund all those people too for all that shit. It's huge, but no, I don't think she was trying to like open the door and then land the plane into a building or anything, but she did get duct taped.
Yeah, that
it was
sucks.
pretty fucking funny.
That
yeah.
sucks.
It does suck. It was hilarious though.
So what would you rate this film? Would you recommend this film to people?
Yeah, I definitely would. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I think when we first saw it, I love the premise as a vampire on a plane, but when we first saw it, we're like, terrorist also? It's a lot. It's a lot to pack in a plane, but yeah, I think they ended up pulling it off pretty well. They do a really good job. Like you said, that the kid does a really good job, and that scene at the very end when they finally got 8-Ball out, and I thought for sure like the last scene was going to be him in the ocean.
Yeah. Yep.
But that scene when she's really turning and they're like at the door, not getting sucked out of the plane for some reason. Right. He got sucked out. Why aren't they getting sucked out?
I don't know. Movie magic.
Yeah,
That's
but
what we're gonna call that.
But that scene when she's like pushing him away and then he's trying to grab her or whatever. It's a heart-wrenching scene.
It is. And
that kid does a really good job. You can see the terror in his face of them pushing back and forth. But yeah, I would recommend it for sure. It was really good, yeah. Especially for Netflix films, but
yeah, for sure.
And I could see this becoming like a cult classic. It's almost like a version of Train to Busan. That's kind of what it made me feel like, but it's Plane to New York or whatever it's called with vampires instead of zombies.
I totally enjoyed this. When we watched a trailer reaction, which you guys can go and watch on our YouTube channel, but I was actually excited about this one. It looked pretty good, and I thought they pulled it off very well. Like, this is definitely a top film on Netflix right now for me.
Yeah, and I couldn't even, I mean, it was a German film with English production ties, I guess, or distribution, but there's like, you can't even find the director or anything. He doesn't have much of a Wikipedia or anything like that, but yeah, I thought he killed it. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
A lot of deaths.
A lot of
Well,
people.
spoiler, everyone dies on the plane.
They do. They do. The kid's the only, Elias.
You can almost say the terrorists won at the end of the day.
They did.
Because, everyone fucking died at the hands of the kid.
Yep.
You got to do it, though.
Get that kid some help.
Oh, he's
gonna need it because he just murdered a lot of people.
Yeah, he's gonna be traumatized. You might be able to convince him that it was a good thing because of those. But I have to assume there might have been a few people still alive on there that weren't vampires yet.
Maybe, yeah.
People that kind of just hid out
Maybe
in the bathroom
make a
or something.
Side story, and they come to find out there were like 6 people hiding somewhere.
But they didn't get out of the explosion.
They didn't. No, they're dead.
So he might have murdered some innocents.
That's something he's going to have to live with the rest of his life.
Well, and the worst anti-terrorist organization of like the police and the cops surrounding the airplane, just letting this kid take off.
I know.
And letting Fareed get out of the plane, even after they're shooting him.
I know.
And then it's like...
And then they're like, uncuff him at the end. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You guys had no new evidence to suggest anything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like, they for sure, a second ago, they were shooting at this man.
Yeah,
and now it's like, all right, he's fucking good. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
For sure.
Blood Red
Especially
Sky.
the fact you can literally just go right to Netflix and watch this film.
You don't have to pay $19.99.
No.
You don't. No. Yeah, you know that fucking.
It's definitely worth it.
Disney Plus bullshit.
Alrighty, well, that is our review for Blood Red Sky. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.